Hey everyone, today we are going to look at direct variation and what does that mean, okay? Direct variation, you are going to multiply and divide in order to figure this out. There is a equation that you will see or use throughout direct variation, and it is y equals kx, where k is maybe the number that you're looking for. It looks a whole lot like y equals mx plus b without the b part, okay? Y equals mx if we were talking about slope, all right? You can, if we were to graph this direct variation, it would actually be a proportional graph. So it would go through the origin. And that's if we would graph it. So, but in a word problem, if you see this phrase varies directly with, so let me see if I can put it in this little blank. Varies directly with, all right? That's a key phrase you will see when working with these type of problems. So, all you have to do, and it looks weird here, but fraction equals fraction. I'll show you what I mean by that in just a second. And then we're going to cross multiply like what we did yesterday, okay? Hence why we did it yesterday. So let me give myself another space of room here. Alrighty, so now on this, the good rule of thumb is to always set it up with y over x equals y over x, okay? Whatever you do, you've got to be consistent, okay? So it says if y equals 12 when x is 3, so I'm going to write 12 over 3, because that is my y over my x, and it's going to equal, it tells me what is y. All right, so I'm looking for y when x is 7. So I'm going to put a 7 down here. Now it looks a lot like what we did yesterday. So let me change my color so you can kind of see what I'm going to do. I'm going to multiply 12 times 7. You can do this in your calculator, and you get 84. So that was you multiply, right? And now you're going to divide by 3. So in your calculator, please type in 12 times 7, and then 84 divided by 3. And you should get that y equals 28 as your answer. Alrighty, so we're going to do a few more examples, and then you're going to get to do some, and we'll see if you get them correct. So we're going to solve these direct variation problems. So it says if y over x, remember this, I'll put it over here on the side. If y equals 8 when x is 2, it says find x when y is 32. So it's a little bit different from our example. On the example above, we were looking for y, and now on this one, we are actually going to solve for x. So the ones that I am going to multiply are directly across from each other, 2 times 32. Remember, you're multiplying these ones, and you're going to divide by 8. So 2 times 32 in your calculator, you get 64. 64 divided by 8 will get you 8. X equals 8 as your answer. All right. Let's look at this next one, number 2. It says if y equals 3, remember y is on our top of our fraction, when x equals 5, find x when y is 15. Alrighty. So try multiplying this out and see if you get your answer matches mine. You can push pause. All right, welcome back. I really hope that you multiplied 5 times 15. These are the two that you multiply, and then you're going to divide by 3. So in your calculator, you should have gotten 75 divided by 3. where x equals 25. Okay, and that's better x maybe. All right, so let me try 3 and then you can try 4. So if you look at here on number 3, it says y equals -4. So this is the first time we've done negative numbers. The negatives will follow with it. When x is 2, find y when x is -6. So when I go to type that in my calculator, I've got to make sure that I'm putting in -4 times -6, which gets me 24. 24 divided by 2 should give me 12. All right. So try number 4. If you want to, you can set it up like this. Okay. Alrighty, welcome back. So it tells you -9 when x is 3. Find y when x is -5. So it's set up just like number 3. If you haven't solved it yet, go ahead and solve it and I will wait. Alrighty. So you should have gotten -5 times -9, and that would have given you 45. 45 divided by 3, because it's the one that's left over by itself, should give you y equals 15. All right, I want you to do numbers 5 and 6. Push pause, take your time, work through 5 and 6, and we'll see if you get them right when we come back. All right, welcome back. I'm going to plug in a 4 where y goes and a 16 where the x goes. I'm looking for y and when x is 6. If you set up the other one correctly, you should have 12 over 18. And x is what you're looking for. Y is -16. So the main issue in solving these wrong is you set them up wrong. Okay, that's the main problem that we see. Make sure you're setting up y over x every time. So what is 24 divided by 16? I could leave this as 24 divided by 16. I could simplify it down to 3 over 2. Or I can leave it as 1.5. All right. That should have been what you got for your answer. Now, on this next one, you're going to multiply -16 times 18 times 16. You get 288. So -288. Don't forget that negative on that 16. And then divide by 12. X should equal -24. All right. So you will have problems like this. Now, let's look at a couple of problems that are a little bit more word problems. And how do you set them up? Okay. So it says on this number 7, it says the cost of bananas varies directly. There's my keywords. Varies directly with their weight. So one thing I'm going to look at are bananas, and the other is going to be weight of those bananas. So maybe I put bananas over weight. Okay, over like the pounds. So bananas are $1.50. So I'm going to put 1.50 over for 4 pounds. All I'm doing is reading this. Miguel bought 4 pounds for $1.50. It says find the cost of 6 pounds. I know that my weight is 6 and my cost is what I'm looking for. My bananas. Let me put a B there. Or bananas. Alrighty. So I'm going to multiply 150 times 6 in your calculator. Go ahead and multiply that now. And you should get 9. What is 9 divided by 4? Because you're going to divide by this leftover. 9 divided by 4, or the cost of your bananas. That's a horrible dollar sign. Your cost of your bananas is going to be $2.25. Okay? That's a horrible dollar sign. I'm going to redo that one real quick while you read the next problem. Better. All right, so on Bruce's cost of renting snowmobiles, so again, we deal with cost, and it varies directly to the amount of hours they are rented. So on this one, we're going to do the cost. So we'll do my horrible money sign and the hours that he rents it for. So he charges $135 for 4 hours with the snowmobile. How many hours would it cost for $202.50? Okay. We know we're going to have to multiply, so go ahead and keep that calculator out. 202.50 times 4 gives you 810. And then I'm going to divide it with 135. Again, if I'm going too fast, just pause it. Do the calculation in your calculator. You're going to have to ride for 6 hours in order to get $202.50. All right. So this one talks about a power being absorbed by a solar panel. It varies directly with its area. So on this one, it's a little different. It's talking about power absorbed with its area. And now I'm going to really actually read through this one first before I decide on what's going to go over what. So 8 square meters, that is the area, square meters. And so that means 8,160 watts is the power. So I'm going to put watts over meters. Okay. So I see that it does have a comma in there, 8,160. I am not going to write it with it because sometimes we get confused and we want to type it into the calculator, that comma, and that messes up our problem. So I'm going to leave the comma out when I write it. And then I'm going to look at the next part. It says how much power, and power was your watts, so we want a W, does 12 square meters absorb? So this is definitely going to be a much higher answer because we're multiplying 8,160 times 12. And you should get 97,920. Now take that, divide by 8. Because 8 is over here by itself, we're going to divide by it. So we have watts equals 12,240 for our answer. All right, last one. So give this one a try. Ask yourself what we're comparing. What can I underline? Hopefully you underlined amount of money. Saves varies directly with the number of weeks. So hopefully you're going to put money over weeks. If you put weeks on top, that's fine. Just make sure you stay consistent. So looking at your info, you have 6 weeks. He saves 126. And how much will he save after 9 weeks? So it's 126 on the top for the 6 weeks that he saved. And it says, how much will he have saved? So that is what we're looking for after 9 weeks. We're going to multiply and then divide. 126 times 9, divide by 6. Money-wise, for your answer, you will have, did you get my answer? 189. Alrighty. This is it for direct variation. If you have questions, come back, watch the video, or email or ask Mr. Jewell and myself. All right. Have a great day. Have a good weekend later on this week.